Hey bro, the year is 2022. It's February 24th. And I'm sitting on my computer chair, looking at the screen, doing something, playing video games probably. I don't really remember what I did that day, but I open up Telegram. It's already evening. And I open up Telegram and I see this video. And I open it up, and it's a video of Putin, president of Russia, and he says that he declares a special military operation in Ukraine. And then, I go to the living room, and my parents are watching this video too. And we all sitting there and just watching this, thinking about what the hell just happened. Then I open up the other news channels in Telegram and I start reading and reading and reading and reading and reading and reading. It's called doom scrolling. I learned it later. So, since that day, I watched news pretty much every single day. I did open up Telegram and I read some bullshit news. Usually it's bad news. Because, well, bad news attract more attention. So, right now, I don't read any news. Just nothing. Nothing. I'm completely unaware of what is happening in the world, and this is actually a good thing. And so in this video I'll explain to you why. First of all, let's start with what is doom scrolling. Doom scrolling is what a lot of people who are Russian and Ukrainian did when the war started. They just read news every single day. And basically their whole day, all they did is just reading news. And specifically bad news. Well, doom scrolling, that's what you can guess by the name, what it means. And this activity is not only bad because it takes up your time. It really takes a lot of time, but it is bad because it makes you feel bad. It eats your positive energy. Because, well, how can you be happy when you are reading bad news after a bad news? It's just impossible to be happy in that situation. So this is not only unproductive and useless, it just makes you sadder. Why would you do this? Why would you do something that makes you sad? The reason why you want to read news can be very, attractive. It can be something that you can get some sick sense of pleasure from. The reason why is because for our brain there is no useless information. Our brain considers every piece of information useful because this is how it was tens and thousands of years ago when humans lived in caves and in small tribes. Every piece of information was useful. Every single one. But today there's a lot of useless information that you don't need to know. Like news, what happened on the other end in the world. Why would you need to know that? It won't affect your life anyway, and you will not be able to affect the situation there. I was reading all this news about Ukraine. I cannot affect the situation there. If I would not read any news, if I didn't know what happened there or what would happen there or what, nothing would change. Absolutely nothing. As it happened, it would happen anyway. And why would you read about it now if you can just read about it in the history books later? This is all history. This will be in the history books. And so, unless there is something directly affects you in this situation, you don't need to know about it. And if it directly affects you, then you will know about it anyway. Not from some news. You'll, from your, let's say, I have a family living there in Russia, and if something will happen to them, I will know about it without news. I will not need to read. Actually, nobody will even write about my family in news. Like, what? My family are not famous or anything. So the only way I will be able to know something about them, if something will happen to them, is from them. Like, why would I need to read news anyway? So, news are completely useless, especially news that are not related to you, especially bad news. Because the only thing that bad news are doing is they just eat your positive energy. When you're constantly scrolling bad news, you will not get anything from it. Unless you're reading news in another language to learn it, then, well, that's obviously another thing, but there are better ways, seriously. I did that. I did read a lot of news in German to learn German, but there are just better ways. So that's what I recommend to you. Stop scrolling news, just delete all channels you watch, or when you read news, just remove all of that from your life. It just takes up your time, mental energy, and it doesn't give you anything good. The only way you can read news, the only way you need to read this is when you're very, very rich and you can affect the world around you, change the situation, and or maybe gain something from it, or maybe it will stop you. It will prevent you from losing something, like, for example, if you invested money in some company, you obviously want to know what is happening with this company. So, but most of us who are watching this video are not at this level, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, don't watch news. Save up your positive mental energy, and I see you in the next one.